tries to smuggle into this country, well, once they are confiscated from you, they are taken to the building on the right, and that is where they are meant to be incinerated. Now, if you look on top of the building, you will notice 6 black chimneys. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have worked on this river now for 5 years, and I have never seen a puff of smoke from any of those chimneys. We always hear regularly at their Christmas parties are absolutely spectacular. So that is Customs House. If you look here to the left, you've got all these buildings very close to the river's edge. They are all owned by one family, a very wealthy royal Kuwaiti family. They got their own hospital, a private London Bridge hospital. They've got their own police force as well. They own the lot here to the left, royal Kuwaiti family. Look here to the right, there is a gap in between the buildings very shortly. It's the larger gap of the two. The gap, you'll see a stone column with a golden candle on the top. It is the monument to the Great Fire of London. If you was to lay the monument down in the same direction we are travelling, it is going to fall on exactly where the fire started, which was in Pudding Lane in the bakery shop back in 1666. So in between this gap now, which is coming into view, you'll see the monument, 202 feet tall. This is London Bridge ahead of us here. This is not Tower Bridge, this is London Bridge. It is the 5th one to span this part of the Thames over 2,000 years. London Bridge, you can see in the stonework. Now as we go through the bridge, if there is anyone on the boat from the United States of America, we have a cathedral here to the left. It is known as Southwark Cathedral. Baptised in Southwark Cathedral was a son of a local butcher. His name was John Harvard. Now as he grew an older man, he became the co-founder of the Harvard University in Massachusetts. So that's where he was baptized. There's a lot of adults on the boat today. Well, look here to the right hand side, underneath the next bridge, you'll see a little glass box. The glass box is a luxury health and relaxation spa. When the architect built the box, the spa, he thought he was being clever. He thought he could hide it under the bridge. He thought no one can see into the spa. He completely forgot about the boats which go up and down the Thames every single day. And some days, ladies and gentlemen, when we look into the spa, we see half naked people. Now some days the views, they are very good. Some days we wish we never looked. And other days we go around in circles this part of the Thames. That's a luxury spa under the bridge. There's the Anchor Tavern there to the left, the Anchor Tavern, founded in 1615. It's over 400 years old. It's where Getting Him to the Greek was filmed. James Bond, Mission Impossible. They were filmed in that pub. Me and my friend, the captain, who is driving the boat, we do spend a lot of time in that pub. We visit that pub after work every single night. We do research in the pub, and we research the commentary which we provide you on. It does take hours and hours, but it's all for you lot. Lovely place for the research. William Shakespeare's Royal Globe Theatre is here to the left, a white timber building with the thatch roof. Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. This is where they reenact all of his plays, and they do it how he would have done it in his era. So there is no stage lighting, there are no sound effects, all it is their voices and the theatre itself. Has anyone on the boat heard of the saying, the show must go on? Has anyone heard of that saying? Where? Well, this is where it originated from, because it doesn't have a roof. So when it rains in London, which is not very often, the show, it must go on. You want to go and see a live performance in there, the prices for the tickets, unbelievably cheap. They're only set you back £10 for 2 people, £5 per person, live entertainment in London. Can't get a pint of beer in London for £5. I can assure you, I've checked everywhere, but you can get live entertainment, only £5. We got St Paul's Cathedral up to the right there, Sir Christopher Wren's St Paul's Cathedral. Has anyone been to St Paul's Cathedral before? It's a great building to visit. It was the tallest building in London up to the year of 1962. Very famous people are buried at the Church of St Paul's. The Iron Duke, the Duke of Wellington, Lord Admiral Nelson, and even the designer himself, Sir Christopher Wren. They are buried at the Church of St Paul's. As I say, it was the tallest building in London, but if you have a look at London's skyline today, just have a quick look behind you. Look at all the glass buildings now. They overpower the cathedral. Very modern London, the glass buildings, but a lovely bit of architecture up to the right. Now these bridges ahead of us here, these are Blackfriars. They are the lowest bridges that we go through today. They're also the closest on the Thames. The first one that you see is a railway bridge. And as we go through the railway bridge, have a look in the middle. You'll get to see red columns. They're just standing on their own. The red columns in the middle are the foundations for the first railway bridge to span this part of the river. Known as the Alexandra Railway Line, it was the link between London and Dover. Dover further down the country towards Kent. So the steam trains, they used to go over these red columns. They had to take the top off because it became unsafe. They left the columns there in the middle as a memory to the first railway bridge. And this one that we go through now, this is the halfway mark on our journey today. Is everyone enjoying the live commentary so far? Can you all understand me okay? I am trying to speak a little bit slower, a little bit clearer. I don't usually talk like this. There's nothing wrong with me. It's all for your benefit. So hopefully you can understand me. Speak nice and slowly for the people. The building on the right there with the green slanted roof is the old City London School for Boys. It's where quite a few of our statesmen, prime ministers, they were educated before. It's an American bank today, JP Morgan. They are in the building to the right. If you stay to the right as well, there's a load of works going on here on the Thames at the moment. The civil engineering project called the Thames Tideway Super Sewer. The old sewage system, it was built by Joseph Bazalgette, and it could only handle a population of 2 million. We have 11 million people in London today, so that's why they're upgrading the sewage system. That's a 10-year project that. It's going to cost £6 billion. Tideway Super Sewer. Now look here to the right hand side, you see the green lions' heads with the rings in their mouths. The lions' heads that you see, they were flood warnings for the authorities of London. If the river water rose above the lions' heads, they would send out a flood warning and they would evacuate all the buildings you see on the shore. They did come up with a little rhyme to help them. Do join in if you know it. It goes, if the lions are drinking, London is sinking. And if their heads are completely ducked, London is well and truly. Anyone? No? Flooded. Most certainly flooded. There's the Wellington to the right there, the HQS Wellington, a support vessel for the Royal Navy during the Second World War. Today the Wellington is an honourable club for Master Mariners. To be a Master Mariner, you got to serve as a sea captain for 10 years. The chairman of the Wellington is the Queen's son, Prince Charles. He is the chairman of the ship. We look over here to your left hand side. If you got your cameras to hand, there's a lovely photo in front of the boats. You can see the London Eye. You got the palace as well. You can even see it, the Whitehall Court Mansions in front of the boat. So take a nice photo to the left. This bridge ahead of us here, this is Waterloo Road Bridge. It is nicknamed the Ladies' Bridge. This bridge, it was built by an 80% female workforce, whilst the men, they were out fighting for the king and the country. The ladies, they built this bridge, and it is the only bridge here on the River Thames to be built on time and also under budget. So go on girls, give yourself a round of applause. You've done a fantastic job on the bridge. Go on, don't be shy, give yourself a round of applause. You've done a great job. During very hard times as well, during the Second World War. This is faced in a very expensive Portland stone, the self-cleansing stone, which comes from Dorset. When it rains in London, as I mentioned before, hardly ever, the bridge, it gets a wash. Look underneath as we go through, it is very dirty, but the face of the bridge either side, where the water penetrates, a nice clean look. Very famous, the Portland stone. There's the lovely Savoy Hotel here to the right, the riverside entrance to the Savoy. You can see the building with the green tiles on the top. That is the Savoy. That's a 5-star here in London. Have your cameras to hand. Get a photo here to the right of London's oldest monument. You see that stone obelisk there with the 2 guards at the bottom? It's Cleopatra's Needle. It's over 3,500 years old. The oldest thing you'll see in London today. They built them in pairs. The other one stands in Central Park, New York City. So if you've got your phones, your cameras, get a photo to the right. A very busy station is up to the right as well, Charing Cross Railway Station. In front of the boat we got the railway line, and either side of the railway line is the Golden Jubilee Walkways. Now this is a known fact here on the River Thames. If you wave to the people on the first bridge and you get a little wave back, you are guaranteed 5 years of good luck. So go on you lot, you wave like you never waved before. We get their attention, you're going to get 5 years of good luck. Did you get a wave back? Yeah. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you wave to someone from a boat, they always wave back. I wouldn't recommend doing it in your car. They think you're nuts. But on a boat, it always works. Look up there to the left, the largest observation wheel in Europe. It is the London Eye. It was put here for the year 2000, our millennium year. On its first day of operation, it made £250,000. If you look closely at the eye, you'll see the glass pods on it. There are 32 glass pods. There are 32 boroughs in London. Each pod that you see will hold 25 people. The London Eye, it rotates at 1 mile per hour. So you get on and you get off as it moves. And it takes 30 minutes to do a full rotation of the eye. You can hire out one of those glass pods for £1,000. People, they get married on the London Eye. There has been over 500 weddings, and it is in the top 10 places in the world for marriage proposals. So gentlemen, if you are feeling a little bit romantic today, you're thinking about popping the question to your loved one, why not take her up to the London Eye and do it there? But gentlemen, a bit of advice for you all, make sure she's going to say yes. Because if you get all the way to the top of that London Eye to 12 o'clock, you get down on one knee, you ask her to be your wife, and she says no, it is going to be the longest 15 minutes of your life back down to the ground with 23 people staring at you and someone who doesn't even like you. It could get very awkward, couldn't it? So you be confident when you ask the question, or better than that, just don't do it at all. Look in front of the boat here to the right, you've got the Palace of Westminster. This is our last attraction we talk about today. It is the seat of our British government. It's where you find the House of Commons and the House of Lords. Look at the building itself. You see the two towers on it. The tower with the flag flying in the distance, Victorian Tower, and the other tower that you see with the clock faces on it. Everyone calls it Big Ben. Us Londoners, we call it Big Ben. But the actual name of that tower is the